Yes. So good morning once again. So today we are going to see the second numerical method called as Newton-Raphson method. And this method is not iterative, but the formula is iterative, and it is better than regular falsy method. If regular falsy gives you an answer in say 12 iterations, then Newton-Raphson will give you 5 to 6 approximations. Okay, that fast the method is, and that's why this is preferred over all the other methods. But of course, every method has its own drawbacks, limitations. So we have to follow certain conditions while applying Newton-Raphson formula. And once those conditions are satisfied, then only we can get the good answer in less number of iterations. Okay, so let us see what is Newton-Raphson formula. Okay, so first of all, Newton-Raphson iterative formula. This formula is iterative in nature. The method is not iterative. The formula is iterative. Okay, so few things. These 4 points I felt that are important to understand and remember. So it is the fastest method among all the iterative methods. Okay. I told you that there is one more method called as bisection method, which we used to teach or learn before regular falsy method, but that method is too slow. So nowadays no one uses actually that method, but we will certainly apply the logic of bisection in Newton-Raphson. How that? See the third point. A correct initial approximation is required, which can be considered using the theorem. Which theorem? So correct initial approximation means what? Means you will be given, or you have to take one approximated value, which you will consider as the best possible approximation, and using that approximation you will find the next approximation. See, in regular falsy we used to consider A and B, and then we used to apply the formula. We used to consider A and B such that FA and FB have opposite signs, and then we calculate X using the regular falsy formula. So here, instead of A and B, if we have a good approximation, for example, if you want to find out cube root of 85, okay, so you need to check, or fourth root of 85, sorry, fourth root of 85, suppose. Okay, so 85 is not a perfect fourth power of any integer, right? You can unmute yourself, girls. Please unmute and try to discuss with me.
Ma'am, can you repeat it again?
Yeah, I'm repeating. What you want to repeat? The third point.
I can understand.
No, I'm telling you to consider one example. Suppose what is fourth power of 81? What is fourth power of 3? 3 raised to 4 कितना आता है? What is 3 raised to 4? 81, right? 3 3s are 9, 3s are 27, 3s are 81. Now I am asking you that you want to find out fourth root of 85. Fourth power of 3 is 81, so fourth root of 81 is 3, exactly 3, right? We all know that. But if you want to find out fourth root of 85 number, then how you will proceed? That means the unknown is fourth root of 81 is your unknown. So x you will assume as fourth root of 85. X is equal to, you will write as fourth root of 85. And if you take fourth power of the equation, the whole equation, suppose, see, I will just show you. See, you want to find, you want to say x is equal to 85 raised to 1/4. Okay, this is how we write. फोर्थ रूट अगर मुझे ढूंढना है तो रेज टू 1/4 होता है वो. अगर ये मुझे ढूंढना है then I will write. Can you see I have written it? Then I will take fourth power. Okay, I will take fourth power of the equation. So this will become 85. Sorry, you cannot see. Okay, let it be. I will just remove that.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Now you have to bear with all these things. It's raining also. Okay, just tell me, can you hear now clearly? I have switched to the internet. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So see, I was trying to show you कि suppose I want to find out fourth root of 85. Then you have to consider a number which is very close to 85 and which is a perfect fourth power of some number. So 81 is near to 85, right? 81 is near to 85 and 81 is the fourth power of 3. So to find out fourth root of 85, I will consider 3 as my initial approximation. Okay. So that is the meaning of correct initial approximation. और एक छोटा नंबर लेती हूँ मैं, सपोज आपको स्क्वायर रूट ढूंढना है 18 का. 18 का स्क्वायर रूट ढूंढना है तो 18 के नजदीक ऐसा कौन सा नंबर है दैट इज परफेक्ट स्क्वायर? Which integer is very close? 16, right? 16 is the perfect square and it is square of which integer? 4, right? And you want to find out square root of 18. So can you consider 4 as your initial approximation? You understand that your answer is going to be greater than 4, right? Because 18 is greater than 16. तो आपका आंसर 4 से कुछ ना कुछ बड़ा आने वाला है. So I will consider 4 as my initial approximation. So this is the meaning of correct initial approximation. But every time you are not going to find out square root of fourth root or nth root. You can have any polynomial, right? You can have a bigger polynomial also, x raised to 5 plus 11x minus 19, something like that, very weird. In that case, what you will do? In that case, if initial approximation is given to you, very good thing. And in exam, obviously, we have to give you initial approximation. Otherwise, everyone's answer will be different. If I give you a degree 5 polynomial, everyone will chase after a different real root. So for uniformity in the exam, of course, the initial approximation will be given to you and you just have to apply the formula recursively. Okay. But now when we are studying the method, when we are trying to analyze the method, that time we should know how this initial approximation is considered. How to take x0 as initial approximation. So what you have to do, you have to apply the bisection method only once. Bisection का मतलब क्या है? Two equal parts बनाना. किसके? इंटरवल ए बी के टू इक्वल पार्ट्स बनाना, मतलब उसका मिड पॉइंट ढूंढना. a plus b by 2. So we will go back to our old theorem that we will find out two numbers a and b randomly such that fa and fb have opposite signs. Okay, and these two numbers, you know how to choose. You can choose them randomly and then you consider the midpoint of this interval as your initial approximation, a plus b by 2. But this you will do only when initial approximation is not given. If initial approximation is given, then you need not to worry about it. You just have to use the formula recursively. Have you understood this part? What I am trying to say? समझा के नहीं समझा ये?
Yes, ma'am, but please repeat once.
ओके, कमिंग बैक टू द सेम पॉइंट. सपोज आपको 18 का स्क्वायर रूट ढूंढना है. हाँ, तो आपका फंक्शन क्या होगा? 18 का स्क्वायर रूट अननोन है आपके लिए, तो आप लिखोगे x इज इक्वल टू, देखो मैं यहाँ पे आपको लिख के दिखाती हूँ, यू विल राइट x इज इक्वल टू स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ, दिख रहा है आपको मैं जो लिख रही हूँ?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, just
Yes, ma'am.
give me a minute. Square root, where is the square root? Because if I annotate it, so x is square root of 18, ये मेरा इक्वेशन है, ये मुझे ढूंढना है. So what I will do, I will make square of this, x square करूंगी मैं, x square मैं दोनों साइड का स्क्वायर करूंगी. ओके, x स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू मैं करूंगी 18. ये करेक्ट है क्या? आपको समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes, ma'am.
x square is equal to 18. This is my equation. Okay, x square is equal to 18. That means x square, now I will just write x cap 2 minus 18 is equal to 0. This is going to be my equation. Okay, and in this equation now I know that 16 is the perfect square which is very close to 18. तो 16 का स्क्वायर रूट क्या आता है? 4 आता है. तो 18 का स्क्वायर रूट 4 के करीब ही होगा ना? It will be very close to 4. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
And therefore I will consider 4 as my initial approximation. Okay? Is that okay? But every time आप ऐसे इक्वेशन सॉल्व
Yes,
करोगे
ma'am.
क्या? स्क्वायर रूट, क्यूब रूट, फोर्थ रूट, nth रूट नहीं. आप ऐसे वाले इक्वेशंस भी सॉल्व करोगे जहां पे log x होगा, जहां पे एक्सपोनेंशियल होगा एंड ऑल. ओके, एंड देयरफॉर we need to develop the formula differently, and for that initial approximation cannot be guessed. In case of square root 18 I could guess it very easily, 4, but in every polynomial, in every transcendental function I cannot guess my initial approximation. And therefore what I can do is I will consider 2 points A and B randomly. I will check if f and fb have opposite signs. If they have opposite signs, take the midpoint of this interval a plus b by 2. सपोज आपका इंटरवल 1,2 है, तो इसका मिड पॉइंट क्या निकलेगा? What would be the midpoint of interval 1,2? क्या होगा इंटरवल 1,2 का मिड पॉइंट?
1.5.
1.5 will be the midpoint of the interval 1,2, and that you can consider as the initial approximation. Okay, जैसे रेगुलर फॉल्सी में हमने शुरू में क्या किया था? ए बी ही ढूंढे थे, such that f and fb have opposite signs, and then you use a b f a f b in the formula and get your other answers. Here we will start with x0. Okay, you can see in the I have highlighted in the yellow. Okay, here x0 is equal to a plus b by 2. So x0 is the notation we use for initial approximation. Okay, in case of Newton-Raphson method. Now if your initial approximation is wrong, then this method will not converge. I am coming to the fourth point. See, this method is sensitive to the initial approximation. Sensitive means if you take a wrong initial approximation, you will not, your method will not converge to the exact root. But if your initial approximation is correct, then your method will converge to the exact root. That means अगर आपको square root of 18 ढूंढना है, तो आपने 4 लेना करेक्ट है ना? 4 initial approximation लेना करेक्ट है. Will you take 10 as your initial approximation to find square root of 18? Is it a good idea to take 10 as initial approximation?
No.
No.
So that is very important.
No.
So this
No, ma'am.
method is very sensitive to the initial approximation. Okay. The previous method was iterative. Here the formula is iterative. That's why I have given the title Newton-Raphson iterative formula, and regular-Falsy was an iterative method because in every step you have to decide your AB. You change your A or B according to the signs of F and FB. In every step here, once you fix your X naught, you just substitute that X naught in your Fx, use the formula, get the value of X1. X1 को substitute करो, जो formula है उसके requirement है, get your value of X2. So the formula is iterative in the nature. Okay, you will understand what I am saying. Let us go to the next. Okay, so how do we proceed? Consider an equation fx is equal to 0. So usually students are very confused. fx equal to 0 मतलब वो fx की value 0 लिखते हैं. So fx is an expression. Fx is a function in terms of x, a single variable. It could be an algebraic function or a transcendental function. Okay, now you know the meaning of transcendental very well. Let x naught be an initial approximation such that, now this is very important point, such that f dash x naught is not equal to 0. What is f dash? What is f dash? Can anyone tell me?
Derivative of x.
Derivative of
Derivative.
fx. Yeah, derivative of fx. So suppose your function is x cube minus 5x plus 3. The same problem which I had taken in regular Falsy case. X cube minus 5x plus 3. So what is the derivative of this?
3x square
3x square minus 5.
minus
X square minus 5. Right? So 3x square minus 5 अगर है, then you have to choose a value of x naught such that this 3x square minus 5 should not become 0. Okay? Okay, girls? The derivative's value at this x naught should not become 0. If you cannot guess the value of x naught, then choose two real values a and b such that f and fb have opposite signs. Then take x naught is equal to a plus b by 2, that is midpoint of the interval ab, as the initial approximation. So usually do not worry, the initial approximation will be given to you in the problems in the exam. Okay? There are two approaches now. We will derive the Newton-Raphson formula using two different approaches. One approach is using Taylor's expansion formula for x1 is equal to, now here x1 I should write x naught plus h. I'm sorry for that. X1 is nothing but x naught plus h. Okay, there is some increment or decrement in x naught. X naught is your initial approximation. If h is positive, x1 will be greater than x naught. If h is negative, then x1 will be less than x naught. Do you understand this point? हाँ, सो टेलर्स एक्सपेंशन फॉर्मूला यूज करके हम इसे डिराइव कर सकते हैं, या फिर ज्योमेट्रिकली हम देखेंगे. अप्रोच 2 इज using slope of the tangent drawn to the curve at x naught. So today we will see only using Taylor's expansion formula. Okay? Taylor's formula याद है क्या किसी को? Anybody remembers Taylor's formula? Anybody remembers Taylor's formula? Yes, girls. What is Taylor's formula? याद है क्या किसी को? सेजल चौहान is waiting in the lobby. क्या रे तुम लोग? रुको जरा 1 मिनट. हाँ, मैं उसे एडमिट करती हूँ पहले. यस। सो यहाँ तक आपको समझा है मैंने क्या कहा? आपके पास एक इनिशियल अप्रोक्सीमेशन है, आपको आगे का अप्रोक्सीमेशन ढूंढना है। अप्रोक्सीमेशन सबको समझ में आ रहा है क्या?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, रेगुलर फॉल्सी में हमने देखो
Yes, ma'am.
x लिखा था, सब जगह पे हमने
Yes,
x
ma'am.
लिखा था, x का जो कॉलम था। सो दोज वर योर इनिशियल दोज वर योर अप्रोक्सीमेशंस ओनली। पहले का नाम हम लेते हैं x0, दूसरे का नाम रखते हैं x1, फिर तीसरा x2, x3, x4 एंड सो ऑन। ओके, सो यहाँ पे आई हैव एन इनिशियल अप्रोक्सीमेशन कॉल्ड एज x0 एंड x0 में कुछ इंक्रीमेंट मुझे मिलेगा या फिर डिक्रीमेंट मिलेगा अकॉर्डिंग टू h। h पॉजिटिव है या h निगेटिव है, बट h इज वेरी स्मॉल। सो x1 आई एम राइटिंग एज x0 प्लस h। ओके, अभी देखो मुझे x1 की वैल्यू ढूंढनी है, तो x1 की वैल्यू ढूंढने के लिए मैं यहाँ पे h की वैल्यू यहाँ पे मैं टेलर्स फॉर्मूला अप्लाई करने वाली हूँ। ओके, and then I will find out the value of h in terms of fx naught and f dash x naught. Okay, do you understand this point? I am going to find what? Which things are unknown to me? Tell me, which things are unknown in the equation 1? You can say h is unknown and x1 is also unknown, na? I want to find out x1. I know only x0. I know my function fx. So I will put x0 की value in my function, so I can get the value of fx0. Then I can calculate derivative of my function. वो भी मैं x0 में डाल सकती हूँ. So these things are known to me. What is unknown is h and x1, and h I am trying to express in terms of fx0 and f dash x0. So I am expanding now f of x0 plus h. ओके, एफ ऑफ एक्स नॉट प्लस एच का टेलर्स फॉर्मूला होता है एफ एक्स नॉट प्लस एच एफ डैश एक्स नॉट। डू यू रिमेम्बर दिस फॉर्मूला?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, प्लस एच स्क्वायर एफ डबल डैश एक्स नॉट प्लस एच क्यूब एफ ट्रिपल डैश एक्स नॉट एंड सो ऑन सो फोर्थ. This is Taylor's expansion formula. Is this correct? What I have written?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now tell me, what do you know about h? h के बारे में आपको क्या पता है? You don't know value of h, but what you know about h? h is very small.
Small increment.
Yes, it is very small क्योंकि x0 और x1 में ज्यादा फर्क नहीं आता है. If you remember our last approximations, रेगुलर फॉल्सी के जो हमने किए थे, सपोज आपका फोर्थ अप्रोक्सीमेशन है 1.6738 और आपका फिफ्थ अप्रोक्सीमेशन है 1.67389, तो इन दोनों में डिफरेंस बहुत छोटा आता है. h इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन टू consecutive approximations and that need not be constant here. Okay, but we know that it is very small and that's why these are called as approximations. अगर बहुत बड़ा है, पहला अप्रोक्सीमेशन 4 है और दूसरा 10 है, तो उसे अप्रोक्सीमेशन कहेंगे क्या? कहेंगे क्या?
No, ma'am.
So h value is very small. Either it is an increment in x0 or it is a decrement in x0 to get the next x1. Okay, या तो वो कम होगा या तो वो बड़ा होगा. So यहाँ पे अगर h की वैल्यू 0.05 है, सपोज 0.05, so what will be the value of h square? h square की वैल्यू क्या होगी बोलो? h की वैल्यू 0.05 है, तो h स्क्वायर क्या होगा? जल्दी जल्दी कैलकुलेट करो.
0.025.
0.025. h क्यूब की वैल्यू क्या होगी? h क्यूब 0.05 का क्यूब कितना होगा?
0.0125.
0.0125, तो ये बहुत छोटा होता जा रहा है ना. As you take higher powers of h, what happens?
Yes, ma'am.
those tend towards 0, है ना. तो मैं क्या करती हूँ, मुझे h की वैल्यू ढूंढनी है. सो आई विल टर्मिनेट दिस इक्वेशन 2 आफ्टर द थर्ड टर्म. मतलब h स्क्वायर f डबल डैश x नॉट जो है उसके साथ मैं ट्रंकेट करूंगी मेरी सीरीज. वहां से मैं कट कर दूंगी सारा पोर्शन इक्वेशन 2 में. तो क्या रहेगा, f ऑफ x नॉट प्लस h इज इक्वल टू f ऑफ x नॉट प्लस h f डैश x नॉट. करेक्ट. आर यू गेटिंग इट? जहां जहां h के हायर पावर्स आ रहे हैं मैं वो सारे टर्म्स को 0 बना दूंगी. मतलब assume
Ma'am, can't hear anything.
Yes, ma'am.
का नेटवर्क चेक करो. मेरा नेटवर्क फुल है यहाँ पे. एक मिनट चेक करती हूँ फिर से. नाउ कैन यू हियर मी? कैन यू हियर मी? Okay. So do you understand what I'm saying? The terms which contain higher powers of h, those will tend to 0. So from third term onwards, I am truncating this series written in equation 2. Okay. So that's what is written in the last sentence as h.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
I will have to use the headphone. Now clear? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So as h is very small, we can ignore the terms containing higher powers of h and truncate the series up to second term. Okay. And therefore what do we have here? Let us check. क्या करूं अभी? बाकी लोगों को सुनाई दे रहा है क्या? Other people can listen to me. Am I audible?
No, ma'am.
Not at all.
Ma'am, your voice is.
अभी थोड़ा थोड़ा बीच में ब्रेक हो रहा है. क्या करूं मैं अभी?
but ma'am, we are not
हाँ? अभी थोड़ा ही टाइम बचा है वैसे 5 मिनट. Let me just complete this. Mrunal, can you hear me? Hello. तुम्हारी भी वॉइस ब्रेक हो रही है. तुम क्या बोल रहे हो मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. Hello. Hello, can you hear me, girls? Hello. Hello, can you hear me, girls?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ. So equation equation 2 is truncated as f of x naught plus h is equal to f of x naught plus h f dash x naught. Okay, यहाँ तक ही हमने लिया है. Now what we are assuming, what is x naught plus h? Tell me. x naught plus h हमने क्या लिखा था? It was x1, है ना?
Yes.
हाँ. तो मैं अगर if I assume
Yes,
कि
ma'am.
x0 was my initial approximation and x1 is the exact root, अगर मैं ऐसा अज्यूम करती हूँ कि ये जो x1 आंसर है ये मेरा एग्जैक्ट रूट है, तो एग्जैक्ट रूट को मैं फंक्शन में डालूं तो फंक्शन की वैल्यू कितनी होगी? हेलो,
Ma'am, can you repeat?
हॅलो मॅम, तुमचा आवाजच येत नाहीये.
कैन यू हियर मी नाउ?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ,
Ma'am.
अगर मेरे पास इक्वेशन है x+4 इक्वल टू 0, तो इसका आंसर क्या है? x+4 इक्वल टू 0 का आंसर क्या है? x is equal to -4 ना, -4 plus 4 is 0, so -4 is the एग्जैक्ट रूट. तो जब आप एग्जैक्ट रूट फंक्शन में डालते हो तो फंक्शन की वैल्यू कितनी हो जाती है? 0 हो जाती है. सो यहाँ पे मैं अज्यूम कर रही हूँ कि x1 इज इक्वल टू x0 प्लस h इज द एग्जैक्ट रूट, देन f of x0 प्लस h इज इक्वल टू 0. सेकेंड लाइन, थर्ड लाइन देखो, सो उसे मैं 0 अज्यूम कर रही हूँ. सो लेफ्ट हैंड साइड of this truncated equation becomes 0 is equal to f of x0 plus h f dash x0. If you rearrange the terms, you get h is equal to minus fx0 upon f dash x0. Can you see third equation, girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand what I said just now?
Yes,
h
ma'am.
h की वैल्यू हमने ढूंढी है in terms of the things which we know or which we can calculate. We know what is our function fx. उसमें मैं x0 सब्स्टिट्यूट करूंगी, x0 मुझे पता है क्या लेना है. फिर उस फंक्शन का डेरिवेटिव में ढूंढ सकती हूँ f डैश x, और उसमें मैं x0 डाल सकती हूँ. सो दीज बोथ द टर्म्स आई नो, minus fx0 upon f dash x0, both these terms I know, therefore I can calculate the value of h. And now I will substitute this value of h in the previous equation. Previous ये था मेरा equation 1, देखो x1 is equal to x0 plus h. इस इक्वेशन में मैं अभी सब्स्टिट्यूट करूंगी h की वैल्यू. सो माय x1 becomes x0 minus in the bracket fx0 divided by f dash x0. This is called as Newton-Raphson formula. Okay? अभी यहाँ पे खत्म हुआ क्या प्रॉब्लम आपका? आपने अज्यूम किया था कि fx1 0 है और आपका x1 रिक्वायर्ड रूट है, बट दिस इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि आपका fx1 0 आ जाए, ये जरूरी नहीं है. तो यू विल ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट अ बेटर अप्रोक्सीमेशन. So the things which you did using x0, you will do using x1 now. And you will find x2. So x2 will be calculated in terms of x1. x1 minus fx1 upon f dash x1. And if you repeat, आपका x2 भी exact root नहीं है, you will find x3. x3 you will find using x2. And if you repeat this, you get the iterative formula which I have written at the end. See, xi plus 1 is equal to xi minus fxi upon f dash xi. This denominator is only for fxi, not for xi. This is called as Newton-Raphson iterative formula. Do you understand this formula? Girls, do you understand the formula? You need
Yes,
to.
ma'am.
So this is very easy formula. X of I plus 1 is xi minus fxi upon f dash xi. If you put I is equal to 1 in this formula, then left hand side becomes x. I equal to 1 की जगह 0 लिखो आप. 0 यहाँ पे डाल दो. हाँ. Let me just. I equal to 0 से शुरू करो. Okay. So that, yeah, slide show. So 0 डालोगे I की वैल्यू तो आपका होगा x1. I plus 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. So x1 is equal to x0 minus fx0 upon f dash x0. x1 जब आप I की वैल्यू 1 पुट करोगे तब आपको मिलेगा x2 is equal to x1 minus fx1 upon f dash x1. जब आप x की वैल्यू 2 डालोगे तब आपको मिलेगा x3 is equal to x2 minus fx2 upon f dash x2. Okay. So I think my lecture is till 11:30 only. It is 11:28. So once I conduct the next lecture to see the approach to, then only I am putting this PPT on the Moodle. I have put the introduction of chapter 2, that PPT on the Moodle. Please refer to that and let us stop here. Thank you very much.
Ma'am,
Girls.
can you please provide this recording to us on Moodle so that we can
Today's
review it
recording,
again?
na? Today's recording?
Yeah.
Yes, I will.
Yes.
Okay, let me just take the attendance. All of you, please switch on your video. Be quick, girls, switch on your video. वीडियो ऑन करो अपना. 1 ही मिनट रह गया है, जल्दी करो. Do you hear me or not, girls? I will not put your today's attendance otherwise. Huh? हेलो.
मैम वीडियो ऑन किया है ऑलरेडी.
नहीं दिख रहा है मुझे, किसी का भी नहीं दिख रहा है.
मैम हमने किया है, मैंने तो किया है.
ठीक है मैम.
ठीक है, 1 मिनट. हाँ, दूसरे पेज पे जाती हूँ, किसी का भी नहीं दिख रहा है. Okay, so let us stop here. Yeah, let us stop here. We will meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Bye.
बाय मैम.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.